Hello dear traders, petar.jacimovic here. I wanted to show you the example on the British pound versus US dollar and what happened today and this intraday opportunity which happened a few hours ago basically, but even right now there is some space still left on the potential catching of the potential intraday range. What happened here is basically we got an Asia session. We got a predefined pivot levels. This what you see here is resistance 1, basically near 1.3, 230 in the British pound versus US dollar. And the price right now stopped basically near the pivot 1.3, 160. This may be only temporarily. Stop here and price may try to go lower. But what you see here are generally pivot point levels, which I like to use when I do intraday trade, because I got pretty fine support resistance levels and pivot points, this is a very good, and I have pretty fine before the day starts. I know where my potential trading range can be for the next day, and then a professional job like if you're intraday trader and you're a full-time trader is to actually spot the good potential risk reward plays, understand the trend, the short-term perspective trend, and try to catch some part, and let's say most of the part of the daily range. That's the whole point if you trade intraday. So I'm using few things when I do the intraday trade. First of all, you can use the oscillators like stochastic, like MACD, in combination with the price action, candlestick formation, and you can also use the moving average cross. And more on this, I explain basically my mainstream program, like in the full details, how I watch for potential opportunities for intraday trade. Now let's speak and back on the British pound versus US dollar example. The day started, the price was about this level here. In Asia session worked relatively in narrow range, and then price went higher just before the London session open today. Price went aggressively higher from this low to high. Price went 58 pips higher. And now, for perspective of this was a bread and butter trade, because I will zoom in this. We got a moving average cross, as you see this yellow cross blue, cross the white. We got an evening star formation. You see this is a free. We got also shooting star. This was a shooting star, and we just missed resistance for a few pips. This was actually a very, very good area to place a sell order. Even if you miss this, you can sell here, break out of this dodgy low. That's also okay to sell at that point. Now price respecting the pivot. But what happened here is that you will be right now sitting on secure position, because you will probably be in plus about 40 pips right now, 37 to 40 pips. So I always, it doesn't matter if I day trade or I do a good short-term or I position trade or swing trade. I always want to have the different confirmation, let's say, on that way, and understanding on the different aspects when I place my order. So it's not enough just to see this or just to see that. I need to have in alignment that we got a good understanding that this may be a temporal, for example, high of the day. Just one example, and this will probably be the high for today on the British pound versus US dollar, because sellers just came to sell near to this resistance, pivot resistance 1, and we got the good formation evening star. We got the stochastic as well showing, as you see here. I will zoom you in. The stochastic showed here also overbought condition on the intraday perspective. We got a hidden bearish divergence back to watching the Friday and today action. So pretty good, strong understanding of what's actually happening here. Now, if you check more, this is how I teach my students, because I have the intraday trading program and I have the, let's say, short-term position trading program for the short-term oriented traders. These are totally different kind of trading. You know, on the short-term position trading, it's more like intermarket analysis, you know, fundamental analysis, understanding of the intermarket analysis, you know, the position of indexes, gold, oil, and so on, you know, and all of this, then you create a good picture. Here is more, let's say, on that way, more mechanical, but still you need to understand a lot of stuffs if you want to successfully day trade and try to achieve good results. So here I explain you just on this template using the oscillators, pivot points, and the candles together with moving averages what's actually happening, and this was a nice setup on the British pound. Now, if I go here, this is a market profile, and this is basically the session separated market profile. This green one profile represents overnight or Asia session, and this one right now, blue one, represents the Europe session. Very soon we will open a New York session in about 10 minutes. But what happened here is that Asia session went higher, and then sellers actually rejected from this resistance, which was created on the Asia session. This was a classic Europe session reversal. We got a selling tail, and price pretty directionally went into this downward movement from the London session. What we can notice here is that the value shifted lower, and point of control is so far lower than the Asia session point of control. So very understanding of the value is also very important, and this is another confirmation that this was a very actually nice potential setup. But even that, I always watch also what's happening in the futures market, and I can place your futures market chart and watch this. This is the area where we got this was a area near this resistance. This was a resistance one, approx. What happened here is there is a big climatic action and big absorption by the sellers on the futures market. 6B on the 3-minute chart, we got a very high volume, about 1K, and the 3-minute bar is very high. It's ultra high, and then from straight you see that no demand and price went lower. So combining all of this, basically we got a picture that this was a nice selling opportunity based on price action, understanding of the market profile, and using the volume analysis on the futures market. And this is how I always teach my students. There is a many things, what parameters we used, and how we approach every day from the beginning to the end. We have the basically I designed basically the set of roles which you always need to watch every day. If you day trade, you always open the set of roles and then wait, and you have basically the guide, you know, the guide written the rules which you are waiting every single day and see is there any good opportunity to trade or not. So far today I found the British pound versus US dollar was the only good opportunity in my opinion to basically bail out. This currency pair, I still expect price to go lower because there is a space that price may reach support one, pivot support one near the 1.318. Even if there is a, let's say, enormous supply on New York session or something, this will be the extreme target on around 1.3050. But this will be extreme target, basically. And this will mean that the price actually went the higher volatility than the previous average volatility. But the more realistic target is near 1.19. And if there is a strong supply during the day, price may try to go and reach 1.3050. So right now pivot is acting like support at this point, but as I said, we got the weaknesses in the background and we understand the British pound versus dollar is in downtrend, and you know, we may expect the breakout of this pivot point and potential retest of the support one. And you know, you can also play something for that if you scalp or something, you know, having the information and carry information that we may try to reach that 100, 1.3, 118, 120, let's say, level of the British pound versus US dollar. So it is always important to understand that you need to pretty much understand the if you want to day trade, because I got many requests and people enjoy to trade intraday and so on, and they like to be full-time traders, and that's fine, and you can do that, but you must be very informed, and you must understand the good timing, because timing is so important in anything, even the short-term trading. Timing is so important, but especially on the intraday trading when you have 24 hours maximum and you need to close your position. So, you know, the perfect timing, you wait for the perfect timing, you wait for a perfect price action to occur on the perfect area, and then you observe different things to have the understanding and confirmation that, you know, the whole point is basically to catch the potential range of the day and potential play of the day. That's what also every intraday trader is trying to do, basically, is to understand and to try to grab that range of potential day. And this was a classic example of how basically you can you know, and I just explain you in this example how you can basically you know, and using the different stuffs, understanding the different stuffs, you have a very good way to basically day trade. But again, a lot of stuffs need to be learned here. So if you want to full-time day trade, intraday trade, I have the mentorship program basically only specialized for the intraday trading, where I teach you all of these stuffs and how we give you all the templates and all you need basically to actually have the very good understanding of the potential intraday good plays and good risk reward entries, which is actually most important. So that will be all for this video. I'm still again holding my short-term position from 1.3500 on the British pound versus US dollar. I'm expecting still level 1.2800, 1.2900. I may even wait the whole week or something, but probably this week can be the week which can bring me that 1.2800 level or 1.2900 level, and that area is where I want to potentially scale my position from 1.3500. That'll be all for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Wish you good trading, and bye bye for now.